Welcome to another episode of HalfPint Cooking. What are we gonna make?
Banana bread.
Banana bread. And I happen to have an excellent recipe that I've perfected. And so I'm gonna share it with you today. Okay, set the oven to 350 degrees. So first, we are gonna need a half a cup of butter, which is just 1 cube of butter. Now this is already soft, it's been sitting out all day, so it's nice and soft and easy to do. Okay, will you put it in? We're gonna put it in a large mixing bowl. You can use a Bosch or a KitchenAid if you want to, but we're just gonna use a hand mixer today to make it easier. Okay, so we have our half a cup of butter in here and we're just gonna mix it a little bit. Do you wanna mix it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna add a half a cup of white granulated sugar. There's our half cup. You gonna do it? Make sure it gets full. Okay. And we're gonna add a half a cup of brown sugar. Now when you're measuring brown sugar, you wanna pack it in. Okay, so it's not just like regular sugar, you gotta pack it in. Push it down. Good. So that's usually the case with all brown sugar, you wanna pack it. Packed brown sugar. Okay, looks good.
Dump it in.
Yep.
Whoa.
Dump it in. Okay, now we're gonna mix it again. Okay, now we're gonna add 2 eggs. Do you want to break them? Crack them? Do you wanna crack them in this?
Practice.
Okay. Harder. There you go. Now we like to crack it into a separate bowl so if we get shells in there, we can easily take them out and we can actually see them. Okay, no shells, right? Here's the other egg. Okay, do you want to mix it again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna set this aside for a little bit, and in this, a separate bowl, we are going to mix the dry ingredients. So that is our flour, our salt, and our baking soda. And we're gonna add some flaxseed. Okay, we need 2 cups of flour. This time we don't really need to spoon it in. Yeah, let's do the knife trick, but not the spoon trick. But let's bring some over here. Okay. So we have our flour measured. Now we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I have my baking soda in here. Do you wanna do it? Okay, with this, like you can, scrape it off the top. There's a little lip there and we can just scrape it off. Yes. Okay, now we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Here I have my salt. So 1/4 or 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay. I like to put a little bit of fiber and healthy stuff in here too. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. So this is a tablespoon, TBS or TBSP or a capital T. Yes, yes. Make it flat on top, okay? 1, 2. You don't have to add this. I just like to make it a little bit healthier with it. So if you don't have it, it's okay. Now, you wanna get one of these spoons and just give it a little stir. You wanna make sure you stir in the flour and the baking soda so it gets all mixed in so you don't get 1 clump of baking soda or 1 clump of salt. Just give it a little mix. It doesn't have to be big. Now, the secret ingredient to banana bread is not so secret. What do you think it is?
Bananas?
Bananas. We need bananas.
Round.
So you can just wait for your bananas to go bad, or if you just happen to have bad bananas, I needed them to go bad a little faster, so I got them a little cheaper. And a lot of times stores will sell them for cheaper if they're starting to go brown because they can't charge full price. And look how brown they are. Do you want to eat these kind?
No.
No, but they make excellent banana bread. So it's really important to have brown bananas. So we need 1 1/3 cup of mashed bananas. So that usually ends up being about 2.5 to 3 bananas. And we have a guest. We have a surprise here. Come here, Tessa. Say cheese. Cheese. Okay, so what we do is we put the banana on the plate and then we just use a fork and we mash it up. I'll give you a trick. You want to smash it inside the fork part, okay? See how that smashes better? You want it to get smashed. Not this part of the fork, you want it on that side. So with the tip more. Yeah, here comes Jules all guilty because she's supposed to be watching Tessa. Jules, say hi.
Another test.
If your bananas are getting overripe or brown, you can also put them in smoothies and make a yummy smoothie out of it. So you don't have to throw away bananas that have gone bad. You can use them, or you can peel them and put them in a bag and put them in the freezer, and you can make a smoothie with it later too, if you don't want to make a smoothie now. We have to make sure that we have 1 1/3 cups. So we're gonna put it in our liquid measuring cup. I'm just gonna put it in carefully. And in with our bananas, we are gonna add 1 tablespoon of milk. Okay?
We do that.
We just do a little bit of milk.
Okay.
Okay, do you wanna stir it in there? Looks good. Okay. Now we have our butter, our wet mixture, we have our dry mixture, and we have our bananas. And we are just going to add half of our bananas. You wanna add half of it into this bowl? Pour half of this into this. Now we're gonna mix it. Now I'm gonna add half of the dry mixture in here. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, just eyeball it. Okay.
Eyeball it.
Okay, so now we're gonna add the rest of the banana mix. Mix it up.
And then add the rest of that.
Good job. No, don't. Don't lift it up when it's going or else it's gonna make a big mess everywhere. So now we can be done. But do you know what part I love? What makes banana bread so good? Chocolate chips! So I love to add chocolate chips to banana bread. You can do 1/2 of a bag of semi-sweet or milk chocolate, whatever you want, or you can just, so you can measure it out into 1 cup, or you can kind of just feel around and say, oh, I think this is half, and just dump half in. That's what I usually do. But we do 1 cup of chocolate chips and mix it up again. So we have a big loaf pan, or you can do, so you can do 1 big one, or you can do 2 of the smaller ones. And what you do is you spray it inside, because we don't want it to stick, right? So spray it or grease it with shortening or butter. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of flour.
And then some baking soda.
Nope, we're just gonna shake it around, because this helps the banana bread come out of the pan better later. So I'm gonna just move it around so it gets all over the sides.
Sticks from
Yep, it makes it sticks because,
cooking spray.
yes. It's kind of messy. You can do this over the garbage, and so it's easier, or the sink. And then we're gonna pour our banana bread into our bread loaf pan.
All of it.
Yep. And then we just bake it. So we spread it out.
Smells good.
Smells very good. We're gonna put this in the oven and bake it at 350 degrees for 50 minutes to an hour. So you wanna check it after 50 minutes because every oven is a little bit different and we don't want it to burn. So we're gonna set it the timer for 50 minutes. We're ready. Care banana bread is ready. Now you can tap it. It looks a little burnt and dark, but before that, at 50 minutes, I checked it and it was still sinking in if you touched it, but see how it's bouncing back? That means that it's done. You can also stick a toothpick in here, and if it comes out clean, then it's done. But if it has chocolate chips will still be melted and make a mess. So if it has chocolate chips on it, and it's probably still done. So we're gonna let this cool for about 5 minutes, and then we're just gonna take it right out. We're gonna use a knife. So after the 5 minutes, we can just take a knife and cut it around the sides, pressing up against the sides so it will pop right out. We're just gonna let it cool, take it out, and then eat it. You can eat it hot, but the chocolate might burn you a little bit, and it crumbles too. So it's really good for it to wait until it's cooled a little bit more to slice it up and eat it. So that's how we make banana bread at our house. I hope you make this and take a picture and share it with us, so I know that you guys are learning and making this stuff too. Thanks for watching another episode of HalfPint Cooking. Have you ever done that trick where you put a spoon on your nose and see if it'll stay? Failing as a mother. I'm a witch. I've never, I have a big nose though.
Ever seen a plastic?
What the heck?
A plastic